Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today we're on another paddock of stockpile fescue. We just set this up, Ben and Isaac and I, and this is I think there's 12 acres in this paddock, and we got 375 head coming at us. And so what we're doing is it's a Monday morning. It's February 1st, and we've really got some beautiful stockpile. Look at that. It's still green. I mean, the tops of it's got some brown on it from the extremely cold nights, and we've had a couple nights of negative with wind chill and stuff like that. Just got the snow melted off of this about 2 days ago, and it's still green. And we've got this hasn't been grazed since October. And I just wanted to show you what the cows have waiting on them. Besides the fescue, they've got red clover that is still green. I don't know if you want to call that red clover or green clover, but it is green. The variety is red. It is red clover. There's probably some white clover mixed in there with it. But this paddock here in the spring flush, we'll get 1 day out of it. We'll split it down the middle. We'll give them the top part in the morning, and then on that side of that pond over there in the water tank, we'll give them the other side. But it's winter time. The grass is not growing, and so we need more time. We're trying to ration out our precious winter stockpile. And so this is our first paddock that we put in. You can see the reels hanging right there, and there's the entrance to the water tank. And so the animals will get this first piece right here, and it goes all the way back up the top of the hill up there. It's just a long, narrow rectangle, and we're going to be hooking on again and running another one back up that way. So we're going to get 4 strips out of this 12 acres. So they're going to be getting about 3 acres. That's pretty easy to figure. About 3 acres a day, 3 acres a move. And so they won't take all of this. We're going to have a lot of trampling here. They're going to leave some of this laying on the ground as a litter. And so we'll bring them in here and let them take what they will. Now, as soon as they leave this strip or get it grazed off real well, we will come in here. If we've got some hay at the top of the hill, we're going to put some hay on this just to feed the soil and buy a little bit more time to make sure we have some of this stockpile left in March, because we're in February now, and it's going really well, and we're just rationing it out because we didn't get any rain in August or September, and so those are your primary winter stockpile growing months. But because we didn't overgraze this farm, even though we didn't get the rain like we liked, we still grew a lot of grass. And that's what you're looking at right here. So this is Kentucky 31 fescue. It grows well here in mid-Missouri. The boys and I just moved the cows off of an area up there on top where we got a rain all day. It rained all day on Sunday. And the Saturday part of Sunday. And we got 1.5 inches. We had water flowing like we hadn't seen for months. The creeks were full. We caught a lot of water in our ponds. And we had them up there on top of that hill. And it's amazing, because of the fescue sod, they didn't tear it up that bad. I mean, they went down in some places maybe 2 inches. Mostly it's 1.5 inch. Again, it's the 1,000-pound cows definitely help us on that. But they just didn't tear it up like we would have if we'd had the larger frame cows. So if you've got bigger cows, you may not be able to do what we're doing here. They're going to compact your soil in the wintertime. They're going to pug it, 8 to 10 inches deep, and you've destroyed your pastures for the coming growing season. But we don't have to worry about that because it's just not an issue with these 1,000-pound South Pole cattle. it's just a wonderful feeling, though. You know, here we are in September. I'm sorry, February. I wish it was September. No, February. And we still got a lot of grass. And I'm telling you what, when you can graze in February in Missouri, when everybody else is feeding hay, they have to feed hay because they don't have any of this left. Ration it out, folks. Don't graze up all your stockpile right at the start. You know, graze stockpile in the morning, put a little hay out at night. And if you keep doing that, assuming you didn't get any rain in the fall because you didn't grow a lot of grass, you can still have some of this grass left in March. Well, if you can get to March, the end of March, April, you're there. You got spring flush looking at you in about 7 to 10 days. So that's Missouri. I'm not sure, you know, Tennessee, you're going to be 3 weeks ahead of me. So you got to be careful. You know, when you hear me mention dates, you need to make that relevant to where you live. But just wanted to give a shout out to everyone. Thanks for, there was a lot of people jumped on the bandwagon and bought up those heifers that we had, and they're pretty much gone. We do have a batch of purebloods, South Pole heifers. I'm not sure how many we're going to have just yet, but there's going to be, maybe a dozen of those, and I'll probably have a little blip on our website about those. But all the others and the steers, we got a few steers, not very many, but people really jumped on those things. I don't blame them. They were high quality, just the right kind of cattle to start a good grass genetic herd from, especially if you put a slick-hided medium frame South Pole bull on them. Save you years and years and years of trying to get a good grass efficient herd. Somebody had a good question the other day on the YouTube. They said, Greg, when you use the term grass genetics, what are you referring to? I'm referring to an animal that can go out here in the wintertime, stay fat on fescue. Okay? You're not feeding them range cubes, you're not feeding them breeder cubes, you're not pouring the corn or dried distiller's grain to them or cottonseed cake or anything else. They have to make it with this. And they have to raise a calf, a good calf, on this, without you having to go bankrupt buying all these supplements to keep them alive. And if you have an animal that you can't do that with, it probably doesn't have the gut capacity, it's got too much leg on it. And be honest with you, a lot of the cattle today, the packers and the feedlots, they want them with a lot of leg. And you hear them say, you know, oh, we want these nice slick-sided cattle. I don't want a slick-sided cow. If she doesn't have any gut, she doesn't have any place on my farm. But they like those because they can feed them a lot of corn. Okay? Do y'all see any corn growing out here? Nope. So I've got to buy it. If I'm gonna put weight on the corn, I got to go buy it and then with all my money. And it's cold out here. I'm not going to come out here and freeze my tail off every morning and give my calf crop away feeding these animals corn. That's ridiculous. You know, the old saying is it's better to do nothing and make nothing than to do something and make nothing. So if you're going to do something, by gosh, make some money at it. Get the right kind of cattle. Use the right kind of management. Get the right kind of grass. Right kind of fencing and water. I had a guy call the other day and he said, well, I don't have any water. Well, you go to his farm, he spent a lot of money on a lot of goofy things that he didn't need, and now he doesn't have any water for his cattle, and he's having a hard time in the winter. You got to get that water out there. Water and fence. Those are the two things you need to spend money on when you're starting out, is water and fence, because if you can't control the animals, you can't do this. You absolutely can't do this. So water and fence, and then the right genetics certainly helps, the right frame size, and build you a good temperament herd. It's got good temperaments. They don't try and kill you. I've run some of those for people, and I always wonder why people kept those kind of cattle, and they say, well, she gives me a good calf every year. To me, that's not an excuse. If she's going to try and kill me, she needs to go down. She may hurt somebody that's not even related to our family. You know, somebody gets out here and gets hurt, you're reliable. So Don't keep animals like that. It's cold out here. My fingers are freezing. I just wanted to show you our winter stockpile. This is February. And I'm just so happy the cows are just going to do backflips when they get on here. Because they can eat this Kentucky 31. And then they can reach down and get them some of that. That's red clover. Clover and fescue. Doesn't get any better of that as a cow in the middle of the winter time here in Missouri. So everyone take care. If you're new to that channel, hit that subscribe button on the way out. I'd appreciate it. And also the like. And we'll see you all down the road.